Good morning, students. I am Geeta Gangadharan, Associate Professor of English, Maharani's Arts College for Women, Mysore. Today, I am going to discuss a poem prescribed for the second year English language students of the University of Mysore. The poem is titled Remembrance. The poem Remembrance is written by Mamang Dai. Mamang Dai is a poet, novelist and a journalist and is a renowned literary figure in Indian English literature. She is from the northeast of India. To be precise, she is from Itanagar, the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh. Born on 23rd February 1957, Dai won the Padma Shri Award in 2011 and Sahitya Academy Award in 2017. She gave up her career in the Indian Administrative Services and took to writing. Her mother tongue is Adi, a tribal language of the Northeast. Mamang Dai's works throw light on the culture and beliefs of Northeast of India, of which many do not know much even to this day. Dai's poem Remembrance delineates both the benevolent and malevolent presence of nature and the insatiable quest of man for a better destiny through suffering. The readers feel the undercurrent of pain as Mamang Dai reveals her darkest fears about what lies ahead for her land and people. Human beings have a laid back, a complacent attitude. We take people and things for granted. We become conscious of their value only on the verge of losing it all. We attempt to redeem things when they reach a point of no return. The opening stanza of the poem exemplifies this basic human tendency. The poet wonders how we could take it for granted that every summer it would rain as a routine affair. How people could assume that they will always have a peaceful sleep at night, and how one could conclude that soon after the rains we will always witness new life. I quote from the poem, "The green fern would uncurl ceaselessly by the roadside," unquote. In the past, things have fallen into place so naturally that no one really gave it a thought. People were complacent when the lands were peaceful and the yields were bountiful. The poem is nothing but a juxtaposition of the past with the present. How life in the mountainous region was, and how that serenity has now been meddled with in the name of development, peacekeeping, insurgency, etc. In the second stanza, Dai draws our attention to the fact that survival itself was taken for granted. The natives believed that all the natural resources, the lifelines of our civilization, like the river and the land, would always be there to support our existence. In their complacency, they assumed that these life-sustaining sources are invulnerable. These sources, they thought, are beyond damage or destruction. However, this is far from the truth. Perhaps Dai suggests that the ambitions of strangers, that is, foreigners, business people, non-natives in general, and the negligence of locals put together have altered the history of the pristine landscape. By the third stanza, we are transported from the past to the present. Many things we thought were permanent and eternal have undergone a sea change. The poet says that this summer it has rained more than ever before. Man's greed and interference are altering the natural course of things rapidly. Forests, which were thought to be the repositories of natural wealth, are now home to weapons, man-made symbols of destruction. Man has intruded into the pristine forests to spread disquiet and alarm, either in the name of peacekeeping or insurgency. Peace and tranquility of the forest is replaced by noise and violence of weapons. Soldiers are everywhere. Through hidden exchange of news, people gather information about these things. The usage of the words hidden exchange itself is indicative of the growing mistrust breeding among the people for a variety of socio-economic and political reasons. Jungles, now carnivorous greens, are hiding terror within. It is easy for the army to hide in their camouflaged clothes as they blend well with the surroundings when confronted by hostile forces. It is ironic that the enormous forests are now home to both the insurgents and the government machinery. Thus, nurturing suspicion and hatred, making life of the natives a veritable hell far from the idyllic peace of the olden times. When life was smooth sailing without upheavals, lands were yielding and rivers were flowing uninterrupted, people attached divinity to everything around. They felt the presence of God in the plants, stones, rivers, water, fire, and so on, and they worshipped them all. They were all sacred to their existence. But with the new norm of violence, both man-made and natural, gods and divinity became things of the past. It is faith that keeps the gods alive. If not, they are mere figments of our imagination. Confronted with the new reality of life, faith is shaky. Therefore, the old world, and with that, the reverence for the gods and spirits, are bygones now. The new world and its reality are here to stay. Weapons, soldiers, insurgents, they are the new norms. In conclusion, the poet highlights the voicelessness of the people of the mountainous region. They are far removed from the mainland, both in terms of emotional connect and developmental projects. They are not sure of what the world hears about them. In other words, they don't get to tell their own stories. Their stories are reported or narrated by other people. Their perceptions of things and events don't get projected. They end up being mere spectators. It is true that quite often they are misrepresented by us. The Aborigines are in search of their destiny, trying to figure out the cause and effect of the happenings around them and to address them. The poem Remembrance is highly evocative of many issues the Northeasterners are facing today. Their once unnegotiable rights over their land seem to vanish. When they try to carve their destiny beyond the boundaries of their land, they are marginalized. All the bountiful blessings that were there once are in shambles now. The rain, the rivers, the fields, the forests, etc. In the state of hopelessness, helplessness, and haplessness, they look up to the invincible sky, symbolic of the invincible and unconquerable spirit of man. Thus, looking up to the horizon is a mark of their yearning for a new dawn. Thus, through this poem, Mamandai sketches the old order with its myriads of blessings in contrast with the new order of fear and terror, segregation and deprivation. Thank you. Please read the poem repeatedly for a better understanding of the poem.